Hello. Welcome to our healing yoga. Please let me know if there's any issue with the sound. I'm trying out a new thing, so if you put a comment in, and just if you're having issues, so I can try and mess with it a little bit. Otherwise, if everything sounds good, you can just let me go. Well, hello. Welcome, Roxanne. Can you hear me fine? Great. So you're waving. Let me know if you can hear me. Thumbs up would be good. Just since it doesn't come through here. Welcome. I am going on the assumption everyone can hear me here. Again, I'm trying out something new, just a Bluetooth thing. So I want to make sure everybody can hear me. And if not, please raise your hand and let me know at any time if it goes out. Had a little bit of issue with that this month, or for the last several weeks, if you will. So welcome again to Healing Yoga. I will be working mostly from a chair today, but please feel free to use your mat or a blanket that you have on the floor. I did request having a strap and a blanket, and if you have a block, that's great too. Hi, Ron, Crystal, and Roxanne, thank you all for joining today. So we're just going to sit comfortably, whether it be in your chair or on your mat, and just drop into our breathing. I'm going to start breathing in the nose and out the mouth. We'll change this up in just a little bit. We'll explore the alternate nostril breath today as well. So we're just rolling the shoulders up, back, and down as we breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Notice how you're feeling. Notice anywhere in your body where you may be experiencing some differences or discomfort. Just make a mental note of that. Move your head gently to one side and then to the other side. Returning to center. Feeling the groundedness through the soles of your feet. Finding length in the spine and drawing up through the crown of the head. Practicing your good posture. Draw the shoulders wide and down to help open up through the heart center. Just breathing, noticing. Noticing the belly, the diaphragm inflating on the inhale and slowly deflating on your full exhale. Recognize this breath pattern so you could return to it at any time for calming, for grounding, and just for your regular breathing practice. In through the nose and fully exhaling out the mouth. Now we don't want to breathe in through the mouth. So as we've talked about over different sessions, that does incite or can incite a stress response. So exhaling out the mouth or releasing any excess energy, and then breathing in through the nose. Preparing to go into our wake up. Now, if you have anywhere on your chest that's sensitive, say maybe you have a port in here, when we do this tapping here, please know and remember that you can do this in the field or etherically, and just set your intention to draw that energy outward and then tap inward. So kind of like a couple strings or floss. Otherwise, we can just gently massage, tap, or thump. We're right below the collarbones and then out about an inch toward, just past, the collarbones, and we're tapping, thumping, massaging, or doing that etherically in the field. Sometimes these points are a little sore. It's just moving the lymph that is kind of stuck there. Lymph doesn't have its own pump, so we're gently manipulating that with our fingertips. Breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Shake off, flick off the fingertips, stimulating the meridians that begin or end there. Moving to your thymus, right there at the sternum. And bringing in those T cells. Those killer T cells, very much needed to help pump up our immune system. Breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Kind of like the apes in the jungle. Waking up. Move to your side seams, spleen points, digestion and metabolizing of our food and thoughts, experiences. Again, these points may be a little sore. Just moving lymph into the venous supply out for elimination. So tap, thump, or massage. And it's not unusual to have one side, perhaps maybe have more of a sensation of soreness than the other. And perhaps that's just the side of the body. Maybe the dominant side of your body, the masculine or the feminine. The right side is typically considered the masculine or male side, and the left side, the feminine or female. Lots more to those things that we'll have to get into some other time. We'll shake that out and then come to our cheekbones. Just right beneath the eyes. And if you choose, you can tap all the way around the orbital bone or just stay at the cheekbones. Breath in the nose, out the mouth. Grounding associated with our stomach, meridian, and earth element. Shake that off. Take 2 to 3 breaths to assimilate those 4 thumps. Then we'll begin our seated march. Just one hand to the other, 3 to 4 rounds. Dust off, cross it over. Breath in the nose, out the mouth. And we do this crossover pattern about 10 to 12 times each side. I usually count up to about 24. And alternatives for this: cross over one shoulder, sweep off the opposite hip. That's another crossover pattern. Crossing over the energies helps bring both sides of our body back to that 100% or fully operational energy, which is what we all need. And let's just shake off the hands. And then we'll hover over the pubic bone. Set an intention, say a prayer or an affirmation. And you're just going to zip that up that central line and sweep it into your field to be done. 2 more deep breaths here. And again. And then we finish with what's called the hookup. This is the single best thing you can do to cleanse your auric field from all the scattered energy, good, bad, or indifferent, that may be coming in. This helps clear the field and sets your energetic spine, building confidence. One finger in the belly button, the other between the brows, and then we'll shake that off. Let's come into some neck stretches now. Breathing in the nose, out the mouth, or in the nose and out the nose. So let's just gently bring the ear down toward the shoulder. This opposite hand can coax this shoulder down to lengthen that stretch. Breathing deeply. Come back center, taking it the other side. Deep breaths, always focusing on our breathing and noticing the patterns of our breath. Is it smooth? Is it a little jagged or choppy? Just observe. Release down. Let's drop the chin toward the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck and spine. Breathe. Inhale, taking the head back, press out with the chin, scooping out like a pelican, scooping up fish, toning the muscles in through our neck and throat. I find myself doing this one every other day, just whenever I think about it. It feels good, and it really does help to tone the neck and throat muscles. I've been practicing this for a really long time. So that's why I say that, because I've noticed on myself. Let's come back to center, extend the arms out. Now they can be diagonal, kind of hanging, but with a little active energy, or maybe up a little higher, no higher than the shoulder height, and probably just a little lower to keep from impingement. We'll do 10 small circles here, breathing all the while. Apologies if I'm leaving the screen a little bit. After 10 forward, we'll reverse that. Slow. Draw the shoulders back and down. Breathe. And then just give yourselves a big hug. Take a deep inhalation and come fold into your lap. Maybe the elbow falls between the knees here. Deep breath. And slowly come back up. Now, if you have a block or blanket or even a pillow, I always have a block here, and I didn't put that online, but it's always just good to have something handy to give yourself a little bit of a little bit more height or cushion. And I'm sitting on the blanket here. If you don't have a block or anything handy, just take your forearm and do a gentle twist to the side. Reach one palm up toward the sky as you breathe. And if you do have a block, you can take a little deeper. It's got 3 different heights here. You could open and reach. Deep breath here, perhaps circling the wrist up top. And then reverse. Notice the twist and the stretch here. And then weave the energy here. Weaving helps clear the field and populate it with figure 8s. The more figure 8s we have in our field, the healthier we are. That's the subtle energy we're talking about, that which we don't necessarily see. So we're going to go to the other side. Maybe the hand here, here, or forearm just above the knee, and reach. Breathe. And the figure 8s, Donna Eden has written several books. One, Energy Medicine. There's also Energy Medicine for Women. But she talks about all these different patterns, geometric shapes, and the Celtic weave, and sees the energy. And this is where I learned this information that I'm sharing with you today. So we'll just weave this arm down and hinge forward. So my knees are just a little bit wider than hip width here as I come forward, like a bird landing in from flight. And then I'll weave my way up, draw the belly button in and up, using the abdominals. Breathing in the nose, out the nose or the mouth. One more time, let's weave and hinge forward. Weave your way back up. Reach the arms high and then plug those shoulder blades down and back into your back pockets. Twist to one side. Breathe. Inhale. Reach overhead and twist to the other side. Inhale, side 1. Inhale, side 2. Come back to center. Gather the palms to heart center. And down. To our sides. Breathe. Let's go into a modified warrior flow. And if practicing from the mat is in your a toolbox today, go ahead and do that. Today I'm going to demonstrate from the chair. So just having one kind of sit bone hang off here. This foot's pressing back, and this knee's tracking right over the ankle. So let's draw the arms either overhead or maybe to goalpost. Bring the hands together. Draw that belly button in and up. Take a gentle back bend. Maybe interlace the fingers and open the elbows here. Placing the interlaced fingers, a little weave to hold your head, and breathe. And then release, sweep the hands behind, either interlacing or holding one or the other wrist. And then draw those hands down, gaze to the heavenlies. Pressing this rear heel back toward the mat or toward the floor. Let's hinge. Draw these clasped hands up just to where we can, where you're feeling a nice stretch. Take a deep breath here. Release the hands overhead once again. And turn to the side, opening to our seated warrior two. Breathe. Once again, I'm fading off the screen a little. Apologies. So you can gaze over your front middle finger here. Breathe. Notice the work, this inner thigh. Let's turn this palm up. Reverse the warrior. Keeping that tummy button drawn in and up, like that hookup we did. Keeping that engagement. And then let's come forward. Side angle. Reach top arm toward the sky. Maybe out in that long diagonal line out from the crown. You can also wrap this arm in the small of the back, coming into a half bind if that feels good. And lift. Let's return. Seated warrior two. Gather the hands and draw them to heart center. Once again, face forward. Reach overhead. Hinge. Modified pyramid here. Gazing straight down toward the toes. Lengthening through the spine. And then sweeping the arms up. I'm just going to open up here and kind of move to the other side so you can kind of spin. Actually, this might allow for that. So you'll want one sit bone kind of hanging off here to accommodate. And we're going to do this pretty much the same thing to the other side. Let's draw the arms up, and remember, you can have that wide V, perhaps your goal post. You can also bring the hands together, keeping that abdominal engagement and breathing. Lift through heart center. Interlace the fingers. Perhaps rest the head in the hands. Breathe. Widen through the elbows. And then create that arrow. Hinge forward. Reach the arms back. Now, if it's really challenging to interlace or hold one or the other wrist, just kind of squeeze the hands toward each other. Activate that energy as you come forward here. You can also have a block or something beneath your feet. My foot kind of barely is hovering here, so I can understand. You're not touching the floor here. So we're reaching, lengthening out from the crown of our head. And returning, opening to warrior two, and that seated position on the other side. Let's turn the palm up, reverse. Breath flowing, coming into your side angle. Reach skyward, out from the crown and that long diagonal. Or come around to that half bind, whatever feels right for you. lengthening through that long line. Let's inhale and return to that seated warrior two. Gather the arms overhead. Maybe bring that rear foot in a little bit. Extend through this lead leg. It doesn't have to be fully straight. And we'll come to a modified pyramid. Again, you may want a blanket block or some other support. Place that at the end of your foot, the inside of the foot, different heights. And breathe. 2 more deep breaths. Slowly come up. Gather your hands to heart center. And let's just walk the feet out here. Now, depending on the stability of your chair and what you feel most comfortable with, you can hold through or reach down onto the seat of the chair here. Placing the hands here, or hold behind if you have a little free area, free space through here. And walk back kind of in a downward facing dog, a modified downward facing dog, letting the head just nod in between your biceps and shake it gently side to side. You might find the back of the chair here. If this doesn't feel stable, trying the other side. This chair is a little bit more stable from this side for me. But again, you have to assess your comfort level with the chair. Also coming to the sides, we can come onto our forearms here. Just lengthening through that spine. And also keep in mind that the edge of your kitchen sink, you can also hold on to that, finding that lengthening stretch for your spine, and it feels really good. We're stretched here, and if it feels right for you, you can come up into a little bit of a plank or forearm plank, and then come back. Make sure that you've got a good grip on what you're holding and that it's supporting you. Just moving in between plank and downward facing dog, or almost a dolphin pose from our forearms. And move forward. Taking a little balance here. I'm going to go through a modified warrior three, either the hands here or on the back of the chair, whatever works better for you. And maybe it's like this, lifting one leg up, both hands down. You can also go into that spinal balance if you choose, supported here on the back of the chair. Release. And take the other side. Maybe just lift. Having a 3-point pose. Or go into that spinal balance. And we'll do that one more time to each side. Reach. And last time. And coming down. do either a standing from here, standing cat-cow, or come back to our seat and go into a seated cat-cow. So I'm going to stand because I think it feels really good to just do this movement. It's standing pelvic tilts or standing cat-cow. Breathe. So we take that anterior tilt forward and then kind of take that little back bend. My knees are soft and we're breathing. Couple more rounds. And then grabbing your sash or strap, if you have one handy, using chair or wall or a piece of furniture. Just going to go into a modified dancer pose. So I'm holding the back of my chair, or I can hold down onto the seat as I place this around my foot. My socks on today, it's a little chilly out. So I can place my forearm here, or fully extend through the arm here. Draw that heel in, and it's key to keep this knee in toward the midline versus out. Completely changes our stretch. So we're coming this way, drawing that up, lifting up, just using this as a slight balance. If you feel very balanced, you can work toward that, reaching back. I find that sometimes some of us are more flexible. It's just a little easier to do the ankle, or maybe hold the strap or sash like so. Getting a stretch here on the front of the quadricep. Breathing, gazing at the horizon. And then releasing. Taking that to the other side. It's key to have something to balance or rest on as we prepare to go into this. So I'm just going to place my knee down, demonstrate this, just to show you different ways of getting into this where you don't have to weeble and wobble everywhere. You can have the knee down here. I do find that having the back of that chair for balance versus hinging down is just a little bit more user-friendly. Either way. So I come out here and lift. Keeping that knee in toward the midline. Breathe. Hinge forward. Taking that gentle back bend. And if something doesn't feel right in doing this, just don't do it. We've got alternatives. Now we're going to go for a more user-friendly type of balance. Once again, first of all, let's lengthen out our back sides again, going to our little counter, downward facing dog. Deep breaths. Draw out through the tailbone and reach through the crown. And soften knees as we slowly weave our way back to stand in a mountain pose. Now we'll do a stork pose, and if you're ready, if you want to just have a seat, you can have a seat. And do the stork pose, holding one knee up and one leg out, if that is doable for you. Other side. And work on maybe 5 to 7 deep breaths. More if you have it in you. Otherwise, you stand beside the chair and extend knee up and the opposite arm. You could also just hang this arm over here. Helps secure our balance and our confidence in our balance poses. Breathe. And if you come out of it, just either jump right back in or pause and breathe. Let's release there. Shake out a little bit. Come to side 2. So to the knee, side closest to the back of the chair. Oh, I can always have this hand here, and the opposite is overhead. We're breathing. Gazing straight ahead toward the horizon, right at our eye level. And release. And shake that out. We're just going to hinge, take the heels of our hands here. If that's too high, if that digs in, just come to the side. And once again, move through some cat and cow. So we're just going into flexion and extension. Extension is our back bend. Our flexion is our forward fold. And it feels good all along the spine, low back. Maybe begin to wag your tail side to side. Breathe. Grabbing the strap once again. And let's have a seat here. Doing some nice stretches overhead. Now, you just determine where you want this on the length of your sash or your strap. I'm going to draw that up and overhead. Maybe even take it a little bit wider. See how far we can open through our heart center. Pause in that place. Maybe your arms come all the way back and down. Get pretty wide or long strap. We're doing that. We're all different levels of flexibility. Sitting up tall and drawing the shoulders back and down as we breathe. Gentle twist to one side, holding that strap taut. Coming back center, keeping the sit bones grounded as we turn to the other side. Breathe. Come back to center. Lift through the heart center. And then roll the strap over top. Come to just let the arms hang. Maybe widen the knees a little bit. And nod the head, shake it side to side. Very slowly come back up to seated. let's just cross. I'm crossing right ankle first. Doesn't matter, we'll do both sides. So we're flexing like crazy through that foot. We want to avoid sickling or bringing that arch in toward our inner ankle, because that can overstretch these tendons and ligaments on the outside. So you want to keep that foot fairly straight and flexed. We hold on to the knee as well. Sit up tall. And then slowly hinge forward. Find that place where you're feeling a really great lengthening stretch on that glute and the abductor, outer thigh. Breathe. Two more deep breaths, just like that. In the nose, out the nose or the mouth. You can make any of those sounds, the elemental sounds. Season of winter where we are now, and the water is the element. The sound is like a cold wind blowing out the candle. Slowly come back up. Let's cross that same leg over. Take the opposite hand to the outside. And this arm can just hang behind, going into your twist. Shoulders drawing east and west as you twist. Maintaining that length in the spine, belly button in and up. And coming back center. Let's just open the twist for a breath here. And then return to center. And then cross the other ankle over. Again, flexing. Maybe placing the hand on this knee. Breathing. Just noticing how that feels. Equally as we can, trying to distribute the weight on either sit bone. Noticing where you feel that deep stretch, maybe outer thigh, glute, maybe a little bit on the groin, inner thigh. Let's hinge. Hinge happens at the hips where the legs and the hips meet. It's not a bend. We're hinging into this, leading with the navel. Breathe. Next inhale, slowly come back up. Crossing that leg over. Taking the arm to the outside. Sit up tall. And sweep around. Deep breaths. And then come back center. Open the twist for a breath. And then come back to center. Now, a blanket just can be used to sit on or to cover up with a little bit. We're going to go into this alternate nostril breath. It's also a crossover pattern for our bodies, for our breathing. And if you have a block or something you want to place your feet on, it's more comfortable, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, find your comfortable position. As we sit up tall, I'm going to use the thumb and the ring finger. So we breathe in. Let's take some deep breaths first. And also, if you have some tissues handy, you may need them during or after this breath practice. So we're going to breathe in through the right nostril. And then close the right nostril. Exhale out the left nostril. And breathe in the left nostril. And with the ring finger, close off that nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. And close off. Exhale out the left nostril. Ring finger closes off left. Inhale right nostril. And exhale right nostril. Close off. Inhale left. And close off. Exhale out right nostril. Inhale. Right nostril. Exhale left nostril. Close off left nostril. Inhale the right. And close off. Exhale left nostril. Inhale. Close left. Exhale out right. We'll just do 2 more rounds. Close off. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off, and we'll finish here on the left side. Exhale. And just release the hands, grabbing a tissue if you need it. Holding one hand in the other and noticing any difference in your breath. Again, it creates a crossover pattern. Our breath goes from one side to the other for about 90 minutes each day. It's either dominating the left or dominating the right. Again, it's a subtle thing. So it just kind of automatically goes into that crossover breath as well. So it's interesting to kind of do that breath practice with the alternate, because it gets us aware of crossover pattern. Excuse me, I gotta take a little drink here. swallowed wrong. So I sit quietly here. Just continue breathing in whatever pattern feels the best for you. Maybe lean back in your chair, maybe open the arms and lift the heart center. Or even place your hands face down, drop the chin toward the chest, and rest like this for the next minute or so. We're just breathing, going into our own little personal gratitude meditation, thinking of something we're grateful for today. It can be anything, but go there and explore for the next moment. Breathe in and breathe it out. Notice the rise and the fall of the belly with the breath. Notice how you're feeling. And take that moment of gratitude to bring in with you for the rest of the day. Bring your hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the nose or mouth. And as you nod, and thank you all for sharing this practice with me today. Have a blessed rest of your day. Namaste. And I really would appreciate any comment afterwards about the sound, if that was good, how it worked for you. Just trying this new earpiece off. So thank you all for joining me today. We'll see you next time.